Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy English Conversation, the place where English feels natural, simple, and real. I'm Emily.
And I'm Jack. We're really glad you're spending a few minutes of your day with us.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Of course. What happened?
So, yesterday I went to a market, and honestly, I felt a little nervous.
Nervous? Why?
Because everyone around me was speaking English so confidently while shopping.
I know that feeling.
I wanted to ask about prices and maybe bargain a little, but I wasn't sure what to say.
That's actually very common for English learners.
Really?
Yes, shopping conversations look simple, but when you're standing in front of a shopkeeper, suddenly your mind goes blank.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened to me.
So tell me, what did you do?
Well, I saw a really nice jacket hanging in a shop.
All right.
It looked stylish, good color, good material, and I immediately thought, I want to check the price.
That's the first step in any shopping conversation.
But when I opened my mouth, I hesitated.
You didn't know what sentence to use.
Yes,
Well, the simplest and most natural sentence is, how much is this?
that sounds easy.
And it's used everywhere.
So I could just point at the jacket and say, how much is this?
Exactly.
That already makes me feel more confident.
Good. Now imagine the shopkeeper replies.
Okay.
Let's say he says, it's $80.
What if I think the price is too high?
That's when bargaining starts.
Now that's the interesting part.
One simple phrase you can use is, that's a bit expensive.
Oh, that sounds polite.
Exactly. It doesn't sound rude.
So instead of saying, that's too expensive, I say, that's a bit expensive.
Right. The tone is softer.
I like that.
Another phrase people often use is that your best price?
That sounds like real bargaining.
Yes, sellers hear that sentence all the time.
So the conversation could go like this?
Let's try.
How much is this jacket?
$80.
That's a bit expensive. Is that your best price?
Perfect.
Wow, that actually sounds like a real market conversation.
Because it is.
But what if I want to suggest my own price?
Great question.
I always wondered how people do that in English.
You can say something like, would you take $60?
Oh, that's interesting.
It's polite and direct.
So I'm basically offering a lower price.
Exactly.
And the shopkeeper might respond,
No, that's too low.
then what?
Then the negotiation continues.
This actually sounds fun,
Shopping conversations often are fun.
especially when bargaining works.
Exactly.
Let me imagine another situation.
Go ahead.
You walk into a clothing store.
All right.
A salesperson comes and says, "Can I help you?"
That's a very common question.
But what if I'm just looking around?
Then you can politely say, I'm just looking, thanks.
That sounds natural.
Very natural.
And if I want to check different options,
You could say, I'm just browsing.
I've heard that word before.
Native speakers use it a lot in shops.
Shopping English is actually simpler than I thought.
Yes, most conversations are short and friendly.
Another question.
Go ahead.
What if I like something but want a different size?
That's very common.
So what do I say?
You can ask, do you have this in a larger size?
Or maybe,
Do you have this in a smaller size?
that's very useful.
You can also ask about colors.
Like?
Do you have this in another color?
Perfect.
Imagine trying the jacket and looking in the mirror.
That exciting moment.
You're thinking, this looks great on me.
But the price is still bothering you.
Exactly.
So you try bargaining again.
Right. You say, I really like this jacket, but the price is a bit high.
Very polite approach.
Then maybe ask, could you give me a discount?
That's a great bargaining phrase.
The seller might pause, thinking.
Maybe calculating.
Then say, okay, I can reduce the price a little.
And suddenly you feel excited.
Because the negotiation is working.
Exactly.
Shopping English actually feels alive.
Because it's real communication.
I think learners will enjoy practicing these phrases.
Absolutely.
And the more they practice,
The more confident they'll become in real markets.
now I'm actually excited to try shopping in English again.
That's the spirit. You know, the more we talk about shopping conversations, the more I realize something.
What's that?
Shopping in English isn't just about words. It's also about confidence.
That's very true.
Because sometimes you know the sentence, but you still hesitate.
Exactly. Your mind says the sentence is correct, but your confidence says, wait, what if I make a mistake?
Yes, that little fear appears suddenly.
But the funny thing is, shopkeepers usually understand you even if your English isn't perfect.
That actually makes me feel better.
Good. Now imagine another shopping situation.
All right,
You walk into a busy street market.
I can already picture it. Colorful shops, people talking everywhere, music playing somewhere in the background.
Exactly. And suddenly, you see a pair of shoes that catches your attention.
Nice shoes?
Very nice shoes.
The kind that makes you stop walking?
Yes, exactly that kind.
So the first thing I do is ask the price.
Right.
How much are these shoes?
Perfect sentence.
Then the seller replies, they're $90.
Now imagine your eyes getting a little wider.
Because the price is higher than I expected.
Exactly.
So I say politely, that's a bit expensive.
That's a very natural response,
But I'm still interested in the shoes.
which means bargaining begins.
Now I'm feeling a little excited.
And maybe a little nervous too.
Yes, both at the same time.
So you could say, is there any discount?
That sounds polite.
Another useful sentence is, could you give me a better price?
I like that one.
Because it sounds friendly, not aggressive.
Right.
Now imagine the seller thinking for a moment.
Maybe looking at the shoes, maybe looking at me.
Then he says, I can make it $80.
That's better, but maybe I still want a lower price.
Exactly. That's normal in bargaining.
So I could say, would you take 70?
Perfect bargaining phrase.
And now the seller laughs a little.
Because your offer is much lower.
Yes, I can imagine that moment.
Then the seller says, no, that's too low.
Now the negotiation becomes interesting.
Exactly.
Maybe the seller says, okay, I can do 75.
That's usually the moment when customers feel excited.
Because the price keeps going down.
Right.
Now I'm thinking in my head, that's actually a good deal.
And what do you say?
Maybe something like, all right, that sounds fair.
Very natural.
Then I confirm the purchase.
How?
I'll take them.
Simple and confident.
Shopping conversations really have a rhythm.
Yes.
First, curiosity,
Then surprise at the price.
then negotiation.
And finally, the decision.
Exactly.
But sometimes something funny happens during bargaining.
Oh, like what?
Sometimes the seller asks you a question.
What kind of question?
Something like, how much do you want to pay?
Ah, that can be a tricky moment.
Yes, because now you must choose a price.
And if you choose too low, the seller might laugh.
Exactly.
But if you choose too high, you lose the advantage.
So the best strategy is to stay calm
Maybe smile a little.
and say something like, I was hoping for a better price.
That sounds polite and clever.
Yes, because you're not giving a number immediately.
I like that strategy.
Another situation happens when you're buying more than one item.
That's actually a great chance to bargain.
Exactly.
So what could I say?
You could say, if I buy 2, could you give me a discount?
That sounds very reasonable.
Sellers often agree to that.
Because they're selling more items.
Exactly.
Another useful phrase might be, what's the best price if I take both?
That's an excellent sentence.
And very natural.
Yes, people use it all the time.
You know, shopping English feels like a little game.
A negotiation game.
Yes, where both sides try to find a fair price.
And when the deal finally happens,
Both sides feel satisfied.
exactly.
Now imagine you're standing at the counter ready to pay.
That final moment.
You might ask, can I pay by card?
Very common question.
Or maybe say, do you accept credit cards?
Also very natural.
Sometimes I also hear people say, could I get a receipt, please?
That's very useful, especially for expensive items.
And if I need a bag?
You can say, could I have a bag for this?
Simple and practical.
Exactly.
You know, I feel much more confident now.
That's great to hear.
Before, shopping in English felt intimidating.
And now?
Now it feels exciting.
That's the power of learning useful phrases.
The next time I go to a market,
You'll be ready.
yes, ready to bargain. You know what's funny?
What?
A few days ago, I watched 2 people bargaining in English at a market, and it sounded almost like a small drama.
A drama?
Yes, one person looked determined, the other looked patient, and the conversation kept going back and forth.
That's actually a perfect description of bargaining.
It's not just talking, it's like a small negotiation game.
Exactly.
Sometimes the customer acts surprised.
And sometimes the seller acts shocked.
Yes, that's exactly what I noticed.
Let's imagine another shopping situation.
All right.
This time you're in a small clothing store.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
You see a beautiful sweater on display.
Something comfortable and stylish.
Exactly.
So I walk closer to the rack and touch the fabric.
And immediately you feel the quality.
Yes, it feels soft.
Now you want to know the price.
Of course.
What do you say?
How much is this sweater?
Perfect. The seller replies, it's $65.
Now imagine your reaction. I pause for a moment, thinking.
Maybe raising your eyebrows slightly.
Yes, a little surprised.
Then you say politely, that's a little expensive.
That phrase is really useful.
Yes, because it sounds calm and respectful,
But I still want the sweater.
which means bargaining begins again.
I smile and say, could you lower the price a little?
That's a great sentence.
The seller thinks for a moment.
Then says, I can make it 55.
Now, that's already a big difference.
Yes, and you feel a little excited.
But maybe I try one more time.
That's the spirit of bargaining.
So I say, if I buy it today, could you make it 50?
Very natural negotiation.
Now the seller sighs a little,
Thinking carefully.
then finally says, all right, 50.
And suddenly you feel happy.
Yes, because I got the price I wanted.
Exactly.
Shopping conversations often have those emotional moments.
Excitement, hesitation, surprise.
Sometimes even laughter.
Yes.
Let's imagine another situation.
Go ahead.
This time, I'm looking at a bag.
A leather bag?
Yes, a stylish leather bag.
And it looks expensive.
Very expensive.
So you ask the price.
How much is this bag?
The seller answers, $120.
Wow, that's a lot.
Exactly your reaction.
So I say, wow, that's quite expensive.
That's another useful phrase.
Then I ask, is there any discount?
Very common question.
The seller smiles and says, for you, I can make it 100.
That's a typical response.
But maybe I still want a better price.
Of course.
So I say carefully, I really like it, but my budget is lower.
That's a smart strategy.
Then I ask, could you do 90?
Nice bargaining.
The seller thinks again,
Maybe looking slightly unsure.
then finally says, okay, 95.
Now you're very close to a deal.
Yes, and I'm starting to feel excited again.
So what do you say?
I smile and say, All right, that sounds fair.
Deal done.
And honestly, that moment feels satisfying.
Because both sides agreed.
Exactly.
Another interesting situation happens when you're not sure about the product.
Yes, that happens often.
Maybe you like the item, but you need time to think.
So what should I say?
You could say, I'll think about it.
That's simple and polite.
Another option is, I'll come back later.
Yes, I've heard that phrase before.
It gives you time without sounding rude.
Sometimes sellers try to convince you.
Of course.
They might say, this is the last piece.
Or this price is only for today.
That can create a little pressure.
Yes, and customers often feel unsure in that moment.
But staying calm is important.
Exactly.
Because good decisions need clear thinking.
Very true.
Another thing I noticed about shopping conversations.
What's that?
Tone matters a lot.
Absolutely.
If you sound polite, the seller usually becomes friendlier.
And friendly conversations often lead to better deals.
That makes sense.
Bargaining isn't about arguing.
It's about communication.
Exactly.
And the more you practice these phrases,
The more natural they will sound.
soon shopping in English will feel normal.
Not stressful at all.
Actually, it might even become enjoyable.
I think so too.
You know, after all these shopping conversations, I've realized something interesting.
What's that?
Shopping in English isn't really about perfect grammar.
That's absolutely true.
It's more about confidence, tone, and knowing a few useful phrases.
Exactly.
And honestly, the more you practice these phrases, the more natural they feel.
Yes, at first it feels a little awkward, maybe even a bit scary.
But then suddenly one day you realize something.
What?
You're actually having a full conversation in English at a shop.
And that moment feels amazing.
Yes, it feels like a small victory.
Let's imagine one last shopping situation.
All right, I'm ready.
This time, you're traveling in a new city.
That already sounds exciting.
You're walking through a busy street market.
I can hear people talking everywhere.
There are lights, colorful stalls, and music playing somewhere.
The atmosphere feels lively.
Suddenly, something catches your eye.
What is it?
A beautiful handmade watch.
Handmade things always feel special.
Exactly. The watch looks unique.
So naturally, I stop and take a closer look.
The seller notices your interest.
And smiles.
Now you start the conversation.
I say, "Hi, how much is this watch?"
Simple and clear.
The seller replies, "It's $150.
Now imagine your reaction.
I pause for a second, slightly surprised.
Your mind starts calculating,
Yes, because that price is higher than I expected.
but you still really like the watch.
So I say politely, "That's quite expensive."
Very natural phrase.
Then I add, "Is there any discount?"
The seller thinks for a moment,
Maybe observing my reaction carefully.
then says, I can give it to you for $130.
Now the negotiation begins again.
Exactly.
I take a deep breath and smile slightly.
Trying to stay calm.
Then I say, "I really like it, but that's still a little high for me."
Good strategy.
Then I ask carefully, "Could you make it 110?
That's a big drop.
Yes, and the seller laughs softly.
That often happens during bargaining.
Then the seller says, I can do 120.
Now you're getting closer to a deal.
I feel hopeful at that moment.
Your excitement slowly grows,
I look at the watch again.
imagining wearing it.
Then I say, "If you make it $115, I'll take it right now."
That's a classic bargaining sentence.
Now the seller pauses.
Thinking carefully,
A few seconds of silence.
which feels longer than it actually is,
Then finally the seller smiles.
and says,
All right, deal.
that moment feels satisfying.
Yes, it really does.
Both sides feel happy,
Because the seller made a sale.
and you got a better price.
That's the beauty of bargaining.
Exactly.
Then I say confidently, "Great, I'll take it."
And just like that, the conversation ends successfully.
Moments like this make learning English feel rewarding.
Because you're not just learning words,
You're using them in real life
and that's the goal of language learning,
to communicate
to connect with people.
and to feel comfortable in everyday situations.
Exactly.
So, the next time you go shopping,
Don't feel nervous.
use the phrases you learned today.
Ask questions confidently.
Negotiate politely.
And most importantly,
Enjoy the conversation.
because every small conversation helps you improve,
And little by little,
your confidence grows.
until one day you realize something.
What's that?
Speaking English feels natural.
And that's a wonderful feeling.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a really fun conversation.
Yes, I enjoyed it too.
And hopefully our listeners learned many useful shopping phrases today.
If you enjoyed this conversation and learned something new,
Don't forget to support the channel.
you can like the video
Share it with your friends who are learning English.
and subscribe so you never miss our next conversation.
We'll be back soon with more real-life English dialogues.
Until then,
Keep practicing.
and keep speaking English with confidence.
See you next time.